So some variables may only store a single piece of information. For example, if I wanted x to store the value 7, all it's going to do is be a placeholder or a name that refers to this particular value. But there are other times where variables might hold something more complicated. So for example, if I were to store my name in a program, there is more information than just the characters that are stored here. For example, this piece of information has a length. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 characters. That information is embedded in this data that's being stored. So even though my name is storing this particular piece of information, it's also storing more than that. I can extract this from special variables called objects. Objects can store information, they can also do things. So for example, I can ask for the length of my name and get that piece of information out. And let's just print that to the screen so we can see it. I'll run that. So you can see it is calculating the length for me. But I could also do things like ask for specific elements or for smaller parts of the information that's being stored. So in this case, let's say the letter equals my name bracket 0. So in this case, I'm implying that my name has a lot of pieces of information, and I want to get the 0th element of that piece of information. So now I can print that individual letter in here and run it. It should be just the D. This could be useful if I were trying to alphabetize things, and I only really needed to look at, say, the first letter. However, if I tried to do the same thing with the variable x, I may have some issues because x does not have a list of information, whereas the number 7 is a primitive piece of information, so just that value and nothing else. What I'm storing here is a string, is a more complex piece of information that I can then dig into a little further. As we go further in Python, we may be creating our own objects, which could have lots of pieces of information associated with it. Imagine a video game in which a character has a health and items that they might carry and a location in the game and a number of points associated with them. So in a situation like that, I could perhaps say my character, dot score, how many points do you have? Or dot health, how much health do you have? But that's a little bit more advanced version of what we're talking about here. For right now, suffice to say that there are simple pieces of information, often referred to as primitive types, and more complicated pieces of information, often referred to as objects. All right, bye now.